What's good, everybody? What's good? We got a special edition of the Hesi / Sushi Sports Sushi podcast.
The Hesi Sushi right now. We don't
Yeah,
know.
you know, we you know, it's a working title, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Give us a break. And we just got demonetized on YouTube because I just cursed with the first minute. But bad, you know, my bad. You know, fuck it. You know, we already here. We crossed threshold. Boy Sterling can't be here. He has family obligations. But we'll be back.
Shit, we on CP time. It's damn near.
Hey,
we wanted. Hey, we was gonna give him something, Boogie.
Yeah, nigga,
you gonna give him something.
We gonna be out of pocket on Wednesday, so we said, man, fuck it, we just gonna give him something. Which part? So it's gonna be a little quick hitter, you know, maybe like a 30-minute show or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's better than nothing, bitch. So we're gonna get this rolling right now. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna jump off. We're gonna talk about some college football.
Boomer.
Talk about college football. And no. That's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with Oklahoma sticking the fucking stake into the hearts of fucking DRacula, killing these bitch niggas, dog.
You know,
and they fucking college playoff hopes since because they've been a mainstay since Saban that was there. And this season,
he gone.
Yeah, and this season they were looking like they were. They still had some fight in them. They were still alive. But one thing I want to say before we jump into this is that I do want to say that the SEC has lived up to at least my expectations for this season. It's just like it's so much parity. It's like, one team, it's like a brawl, like the literal sense of a brawl where
a rumble.
Haymakers is just getting thrown and everybody's getting knocked on their ass. And it's just like, Vandy, go to sleep, Alabama, turn around, get slept by somebody. Then, fucking Ole Miss sleeps Georgia. Turns around,
get slept. Yeah. It's you can literally hear the WWE things. Oh my God, Georgia just got knocked out the ring.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I'm loving it. Even yet still, the records are reflective of how things have been going for the teams. It's been a very entertaining first year of the new SEC. But speaking of the new SEC edition, Oklahoma Sooners, like we previously stated, stuck the stake in the heart of Alabama, thusly killing their college football playoff hopes.
When you can't win, you play spoiler. Yeah. Look, as soon as it tell me y'all was gonna have the season y'all had, and said the only thing that's gonna be good about it, which I'm gonna get to something else that could be good about it. The only thing that could be good about it is you get to beat Alabama. Now, I will say, Oklahoma's had a horrible year, injuries involved. Like, that's a big thing. They had like 3-4 offensive linemen that was hurt. All their starting receivers were hurt. But the bigger thing is, to all the Oklahoma fans that was out there was a lot of y'all, yes, but y'all, that was really hating on Jackson Arnold. Now, after knowing all that we know about how this season went, how many players around him were hurt, and that the man finished the night for the seniors with a fourth string running back because Barnes, Sawchuk, and Tatum were all out. Xavier Robinson, another freshman, he was the one that played, 21, who was putting in work. That's a fourth stringer. You had a bunch of different linemen. A lot of them were hurt, so you had a bunch of backup linemen. And then you have all backup receivers. You can see all the receivers on silent. And the man went out there and beat Alabama. So I think behind, the big overall Oklahoma beat Alabama, one, the defense, which the defense has been good all year. It just does enough that it can do. And as a good defense, you can only do so much when your offense was as putrid as Oklahoma's was. But going into that game, it was like for the first time you saw Oklahoma was able to put a game plan together, even though it was a game plan with no good, like they were running the ball. I don't know if you watched the game, Boogie, but for those that watched the game, like Oklahoma was running the ball with their quarterback. Like it was Jackson Arnold left, Jackson Arnold right, Xavier Robinson left, Xavier Robinson right. Like they were running like a high school offense, and because they couldn't throw the ball because one, they couldn't block it up. Two, you have receivers that they're just young. They just couldn't get open. So or just lack experience. So I think more speaks to Jackson Arnold. I think a lot of Oklahoma fans need to hope that he stays. I hope that the program gives Brent Venables a lot of time and money into his NIL so that he can get adequate talent on offense. I think he has some adequate talent, but just get more. Because what he showed last night, like they could have easily went over there, Boogie, like, and that could have been a 42-7 game for Alabama. Mm-hmm. It could have been an easy loss for Oklahoma. They went out there. The defense showed more heart. Defense always showed heart, but my God, like them dudes went out there and played the game of their lives. Stutzman, my bad, I'm forgetting his name. 10, but yeah, all in all, I really hope that they keep the coach, that they keep the quarterback, and last but not least, UCLA and USC played, and USC won, and they became bowl eligible. There's one thing that Oklahoma fans want. Fuck the bitch and the clique you claim. My niggas come down here or we will go up there. There's one thing we want to do because the season's over for everybody because there's only one thing left because y'all going to get rid of Lincoln Riley. Something going to happen. He probably not going to be there. Oh, USC done some shit. Hey, we want to play you. We want to play USC. Y'all fuck niggas have been a mockery. Like y'all took the coach. You know what I'm saying? Y'all took really fuck it. Y'all took the quarterback.
You did.
Williams played with this defense, which they've had for a couple years. We might be in some sort of playoff contention, natty contention last year. But no. You left. You took it. You took your talents to USC and LA. So, motherfucker, for the last thing that we need, like we need to play USC, and they better accept the invite. The people that make the bowls, there's no reason. There is no reason that these two teams should not mmotherfucking play. That is all we want.
And I gotta say, I gotta agree with Russ on this one. Yeah, we want to see that. It writes itself. The storyline is built in.
Yes, it needs to happen.
Yeah,
like Les Miles. I mean, not Les Miles. I'm tripping. Rest in peace. The pirate. What was his name? Coach for Texas Tech.
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach was an offensive coordinator in the heydays of what the Oklahoma team that made me a fan in the early 2000s. He was the offensive coordinator that was drawing that shit up. Guess what he did when he was at Texas Tech? He had to play Oklahoma. Guess what Bob Stoops had to do as the coach of Oklahoma? He had to play Florida in a national championship because guess where he was coaching before he went to Oklahoma? Florida. And that's where he got that defense from. He had to play them. In football, more so than any other sport, you got to face your demons.
Yeah.
Like, and guess what, USC? We the demon, nigga, not y'all. We the demon because we feel like USC some punk ass. Like they sitting over there, they losing all their recruits. They're losing all their recruits because people know that they fake. And now we just won a game. Y'all got a couple cold niggas. That's cool. A lot of them are transfers from our school. So our players are like, yo, we want to play them. We want to play that coach. And we want to just lay this thing to rest because next year, Brent Venables hopefully is going to have Jackson Arnold and a healthy team. And we're going to do a lot more of what we did Saturday night throughout the entire season because that wasn't just a for Alabama, that was a quote unquote fluke game, I guess you could say, because they played so bad. But for Oklahoma, especially on the defensive side, we saw guys like Eli Bowen was on Williams' ass. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, yeah, Williams is that nigga. But if you go look, yes, they took a touchdown away from him, but it would have been like, I think it would have been like 3 receptions for 75 yards and a TD. Instead, he had like 3 for 75. Eli Bowen had a pick. Like we got some. Hey man, like we got some ballers. We recruiting some to all the recruits. Hey man, to the offensive lineman that's visiting Texas, I'm not gonna be as fierce as Brent Venables and say if you visiting, you ain't committed because nigga, we need you. Look at the line, we need you. You know what you can do? Joe motherfucking ass getting out there, getting in between the pass. But yeah, no, it was a great win. I hope that we can do some shit next weekend on a high note. But it's getting more towards like we can get into it, the actual teams that are winning and the teams that are in the playoff. We can talk about IU's PU. If that was as a, you know me, I was a fan. I was following it. My parents went to IU for those that don't know. So like my dad normally does not give a fuck about IU people don't care about football, y'all. Like I'm just gonna put this out there.
It's not a football school.
It is not. But I'll tell you this: when the football team makes you perk your eyes up, my dad always says we don't really give a fuck until they play Michigan. So they beat Michigan. So he was like, "Oh, it's time." And for y'all to know, my dad's a dude from the 70s, bro. So he like it's time to. And if you watch that game, I felt for them, bro, because the classic "we don't have enough talent" happened to them. One mistake, and it just crumbled. Because the beginning of the game, they drove down the field, pop, 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 got themselves a touchdown. They got a turnover, and then that punt, man, the punter, the ball slipped through his hands. Ohio State got some momentum. Then Caleb Downs got that motherfucker, and again, depth. You got guys that would be starting on other D1 teams that wouldn't be playing special teams that are playing special teams for Ohio State. So he takes one back, and then as my man's in the replacement says, they got in that quicksand and couldn't get out.
Mm-hmm. And and for Indiana to be ranked is just even in the top 5.
No, they're nice.
They're nice. Like I think that it is. I'm not going to say that this might be a turning point for the program, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. If you're trying,
well, they signed Sig. They signed Sig for and that was cold blooded. Yeah. How Ohio State was like, we putting out the Sig. Yeah. Oh, that was nasty. But nah, and he gets it because he talks a lot of shit. Yeah. So, but he got signed to, I think another 8-year, an 8-year contract. So he's gonna be at IU. The NIL changes the landscape of schools like that because IU has people that have graduated that have made money that are pour money into the NIL. So it's just about he's gonna have to go out. Well, transfer portal.
Well, that's how Bryce Underwood went to Michigan.
Well, I think Bryce figured out how to talk to Tom Brady. I think that's mainly what happened. Because he was going to LSU, correct?
Yeah, he was. He
was. I know you're happy about that shit. You're like, fuck niggas.
So Sterling, me and Sterling were talking about this prior to this actually happening, and it was nothing like it was a done deal. Like Sterling was like, they're going to offer him a package, and he said it's going to be somewhere around like $10 million, and I was like, oh, okay, and I didn't know what LSU was going to offer him either. What they which I just knew that he was verbally committed, and he said they're going to try to flip him, and he was like, it's a long shot. Sterling said it himself. He was like, it's a long shot, but we'll see what happens. And bro, like,
I think you have to be. And I'm gonna say this, and this is not a shot at LSU. So to the LSU fans, this is actually, in my viewpoint of football, is a compliment. And this has nothing to do with the talent of the young man. He's probably gonna go on to do big things at Michigan. But you're gonna have to be a certain cut of football player to play for Brian Kelly. Because Brian Kelly, he doesn't have to say it. When he walks in a room, he automatically says, it smells like bitch in here. Like, what the fuck is your, like, and honestly, like, I used to be like, Brian Kelly is an asshole, and I don't really, but as I've watched him, I like him as a coach. He's like the football Bobby Knight. Like, I feel like the kid was
like somebody else sideline. No, I don't think he's gonna be back.
No, but I think the problem is like, and he might get washed out with the times. Like the times might make him leave, but the shit that he be saying is right. Like, what the fuck are you walking around for? He's got a lot of talented guys, and he doesn't. One thing I do like about him, he don't recruit choir boys. No. Like, if you're going to play for Brian Kelly, you're probably a rough riding dog. Yeah. And but his thing is he's able to tame dogs in a sense. That's what he believes and what. But so like I think that the kid looked at Brian Kelly yelling at the guy, and he probably was like, "That ain't really for me." But to me, I think LSU should stick with Brian Kelly because everywhere he's gone to he's gone to big bowl games, a natty with Notre Dame. Like, he does big things. It's just like you got to give him at least 3-4 years because he got to get his type of players with the type of mentality, and he goes at, like, for instance, for those that play CFP and those that play college football, I mean CFB, like he goes for the guys with low awareness and high stats, like or high like he 99 speed, but he's 65 awareness and a troublemaker. Like Brian Kelly's like, I can get him in line, bro. Like, cause I'm gonna be like, this is your last fucking chance at life, nigga. What you gonna do? And he's like, at that point, it's either sink or swim. And so I kind of fucks with him, but I think LSU needs a new quarterback. I think they need their players to accept the coaching. The ones that won't, I think, need to leave. But as far as this kid, I'm not gonna lie. NIL came in. You got like, if you're a kid, and I made the joke that said, "Damn, they got Tom Brady on the phone." Somebody called Jamarcus. Somebody called Joe Burrow. He's really from Ohio. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody called Jaden Daniels. He went to ASU first. There's not really true LSU guys, like in the sense of wanted to be there, going to be like Tom Brady in sense of all senses is a Michigan man. You know what I'm saying? So like that endorsement he gave, I think whatever he told him, he could have told him, young man, I think you can play football. You should do the best you can. Like to an 18-year-old, he's like, I'm gonna win it for Tom. You know what I'm saying? So I think just like the kid, was it Juju that left USC and is going to Prime?
Yeah.
Like just like him. Like Shadir's leaving. You see how the offense is run. It caters to a really good quarterback if you can handle it. So I just think situations arise, and with NIL, these recruits are going to change their mind. They're going to change their mind at will. And actually, I kind of like that he said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to go to Michigan. I mean, LSU's not a quote unquote powerhouse, but I like to see players say, I'm going to go to the place where like I'm going to have to shine for them to be good. And that's going to put me on the forefront because that's better for us as fans. And I think that's going to happen more so because in order to get the money, you're going to have to shine. I mean, you're going to have the regular shit that you get from the school, yada, yada. But in order to get that NIL money that's out there, out and about and all that type of shit, you're going to have to like be on the field. And to me, and I'll let you say whatever you need to after this because I know I'm talking a lot, but I just have to get this. I just have to get this off my motherfucking chest. I like it. Because I was tired. And yes, I know Oklahoma went to the SEC and Texas went to the SEC and the SEC. Take your bitch ass to another fucking school. Like, if you're cold, you do not need, in the pros, it is one thing. I can accept you teaming up with light cold individuals in the pros because that shit is fucking super hard. It is the best of the best of the best. And so you need teams like the Spurs with the best coach, the best power forward, the best bench players. You need what LeBron did. You need what KD did. Sometimes you need to just go over the top. Like, I'm tired of these, like, in college, though, like, I'm tired of all these dudes, like, you want to go to Alabama just because Alabama's Alabama. Nigga, you're lame. Like, give me a Micah Parsons that's going to go to Penn State. Penn State is a good school and everything like that, but I'm going there. I'm nice. I'm gonna shine. Give me that wide receiver that plays for Arizona, who should be drafted in the top fucking 20 of the draft. Cold ass nigga with the hard name to say. Like, give me those guys that are gonna show out for those teams. I think more of that's gonna come about with the NIL because in order to get paid, you got to play. You're not just gonna be able to be someone that sits out and like backs up in the crowd or stands out in the crowd. I mean, stands in the crowd and tries to stand out. Unless you're like Arch. Like if you're like Arch, you're gonna get money regardless because
you know, and his decisions to play at the UT were different from probably, you know, anybody else's, whereas, you know, it's UT and the procedure that they have. His was, he wanted to play for Sark.
Yeah.
And
I can see why.
Yeah. And, you know, and I gotta, you know, I was skeptical about the NIL shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't, you know, it was a lot of uncertainty on my end. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I gotta say, I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad.
They're about to put a cap. They're about to put a cap on it.
Yeah, they are. You know, they're going to shorten the window in the off season for like the transfer portal. Yeah. But you know, I mean, you know, I still like it from you know the same old shit that we was getting. It wasn't bad, you know, shit that we was getting. It's just you know, it's nice to shake it up every once in a while.
No, I think the 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds and young people are going to gravitate to what's popular. And the only thing that's going to make them not gravitate to what's popular is to add money to other places. And college football was facing a problem. Like all the kids were just going to the SEC just because. And you had kids that could have starred in the Big 12. They could have starred in the ACC. They could have starred in the Big Ten. They could have went to other places, but they kept going to the SEC, and it was just kind of convoluted. And it's like, all right, now third string running back at Ole Miss, you can get paid if you want to be the starting running back at Nebraska. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now Nebraska's better. Dylan Raiola, even though he needs to find his own identity, like he makes them better. You know what I'm saying? He's got a mental illness. He needs to fix that. He needs to be Dylan Raiola. He doesn't need to be Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the rankings are concerned, I think they're going to do another CFP rankings. And I'm not going to get into all the whole bullshit about how stupid it is, the fact that you can have a number 4 team that's put number 10 in the playoff because they have 2 different rankings. They need to just put out one bracket and let us argue that. But I'll go ahead and give you.
I say it's like why can't they just have the 1 through 4? I understand because of the conference buys and championship buys and shit like that.
I just think that whatever they choose, just show us the bracket. Don't show us that like the AP poll had these niggas number 3.
And the
media had these niggas. Like nah, we don't want.
Let's get.
You know what they should do, Boogie?
What?
This is like the easiest solution. And I've always said, like, I don't know why it is so hard. I know they want ratings, but this would also develop ratings. Here's what you do, college football. Here's what you do. You take the BCS computers that we had back in the day. Take them, right? Because those had what was it? Week 4 came out and them hoes came out, or week 5, whatever. When them hoes came out, like we used to, you remember, like you was if you didn't have cable, you was going to a friend's house that cable. I had cable, so I had friends coming to me. You was watching ESPN, you was trying to find out where everybody was ranked. Oh man, you had all these different formulas. So you had that year that Bob Stoops was like, I apologize to all my opponents, but in order for us to meet Florida in the national championship, we have to win every game by 20 plus. And he went out there and ran up the scores, and the computer put them in the position. You had, and that's just as examples as an Oklahoma fan, because that is me. You had whenever we, in 2004, when we shouldn't have gone. We should not have played that USC team. But we did enough that the computer was like, oh, you have quality wins. You beat Texas, yada, yada, yada. You only lost the game against Kansas State in the championship, and they slid us in the championship, got blown out, yada, yada. But they should take the BCS computers and bring them motherfuckers back to life. Don't make no changes. Don't tweak the formula. Keep that shit the same as it was in the early 2000s. And in week 5, let that motherfucker spit out 12 teams and say, hey, guys, these are the motherfucking 12. And then you will have, bro, and not, bro.
I nigga said, hey, man, he said, dust them bitches off, roll them on. He said, keep the same interface. Don't update them.
Don't update it.
He said, keep the same dial up. He said, I don't know fucking them bitches got CompuServe, internet service. Keep that shit the same.
Hey, and when that bitch load up, say, hey, man, because the formula in the early 2000s, for those that lived it, we had to live it. I know we should have the playoff. We didn't. We had BCS. And for those that lived it, it made teams. It made every week a playoff game in college football. But it also made it to where you had to play your best. Like you could not go out there and be like, oh, well, we kind of had a game we won. Nah, the computer's like, fuck you, nigga. You lose points. Like, and if you went out there and beat if you went out there and beat a nigga by fucking, you know what I'm saying, 30 points, the computer gave you points for that. Now, if you beat somebody that was sorry by 30 points, the computer was like, you go out there and whoop your conference opponent. That's nice, the computer. So I think they should go dust them bitches off. If it's a cartridge, like a Sega game, and lock and put that bitch in and playoffs, nigga. and let that whole play, nigga. And shit, we get just spit out 12 teams. You spit out the 12 teams, and guess what? Then the teams will know, like it's consistent. They will know, like they are going by this old computer system where we have to win games by a good margin. We have to play good. We have to have good stats. And at the end of the year, guess what, people? We'll have 12 teams that are spit out. Fuck the committee. It's gonna spit out 12 teams, and we're gonna be like, that's who made it. Like that's who made it. Like that's it. Like, and we can argue, you're going to get ratings. We can argue, yada, yada, yada. But fuck the committee. When I hear there, and I'm going to stop in a second because I do have a silly question for you that I saw online that I want to do before we get off. But when I hear people saying, like, there's different ADs of different conference schools in this committee, and I hear that there's people that aren't necessarily, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what Like I want Alabama in that bitch because I like the way they look. I want Georgia in that motherfucker because look at their roster. I want yada yada in. No, computer, BCS. These are the 12, nigga. These are the 12. Like you take it or leave it.
And what it will be, most likely, it will be the 12 most high performing teams in college football. But them BCS computers was like off the chain, though. Like I remember somebody, like every fucking time, somebody would be heartbroken.
But guess what though? What? The only like if you go to a 12, since we're in this 12, soon to be 14 team playoff, like it got the top like 5 right. It just hold the nigga at 3.
Yeah,
like the nigga at 3 was just hold. Now it doesn't. Now like we can if you lived it, if you lived it, you can agree that the BCS computers had the top 10 teams right. It was just the fact that we didn't get to see them play.
Yeah.
Like so, if you bring those computers back, bring that same formula back. Don't tweak it. Niggas gonna be trying to add extra sugar to that shit. Nah, my nigga, like leave it the same. Let it spit out 12 teams. I guarantee you, it is going to spit out 12 of the best. Like you said, it's going to spit out the 12 best performing teams. Mm-hmm. Which, if you get the best 12 performing teams in college football, you're going to get what? Good football games. Then they're just going to be now. If the committee wants to go in and piss everybody off and change like who gets a bye and shit. Like, okay, if you need to add controversy that way, that's cool. But for the first,
as far as punching the 12 teams, punching the tickets, that's what we do.
The computer. Now if they want to do it to where we put up the BCS gives us the 12 teams, and then we give that list of 12 teams to a committee, and now the committee gets to rank then you could do that. Because then they all could go in and say, like, all right, it's very smart that let's be very smart about this, and let's not have a bunch of SEC versus lower ranked teams, or let's not have a bunch of Big Ten teams versus, we want to do Big Ten versus SEC, and let the big motherfuckers knock each other out. Yeah. Let the small motherfuckers battle for that spot to play a big mother. They can do whatever they want. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But let the computers
see, that way we will get our David versus Goliath match every playoffs. So we're going to get those matchups
and they can pick the best David.
Yeah. I don't see why. This is actually pretty fucking cool.
I'm just sitting here as a nigga that love college football. I'm just sitting here like they could make this a perfect system. They don't want to. They really don't want
to. I think that actually is a pretty fucking good idea. Because the one thing about, because nobody gave a fuck about the 12 teams whenever the computers are around. You only cared about the top 2 and then who got old at number 3.
But yes, and I challenge anybody, and I got for the last like 10 minutes, I got a quick question. I got a quick internet question for you, just out of bounds, I guess. But yeah, like we all know, like the computers spit out the best 12 teams. It was like you said, like I was saying, it's the guys that got hold because you were number 3. And so you ended up playing in like the Sugar Bowl instead of the Rose Bowl or instead of the Orange Bowl. And so like, but if you nullify that with a 12-team playoff, now you got the 12 because I think there's too much human interaction and shuffling going around. They play 12 games for a reason. Let that 12 game formula that used to work, let that stand. Because Boogie, we love college football, but I remember that vividly. Like we used to always say, like, my God, if we could have these niggas in the playoff, because the first 10 teams, and I know it's 12, but we would look at the top 10 and say, these niggas need to play. These niggas need to play.
And it is pretty solid. Like, they gotta do this. It's like, and use the computers. Don't fuck around and try to use AI.
Don't change shit. Just leave it. Yeah. Because their computers had their way of letting, like, the computers automatically built in, like a team like Notre Dame. If they go undefeated, the computers already had it built in. They're gonna be in the mix.
Right.
Even though you didn't have to deal with the independent shit and people don't like, the computers had that built in. Like you had the SEC in our day, the Big 12, it was like, yo, Texas and Oklahoma are gonna play. They're gonna get some points for that rivalry game. Michigan, Ohio State gonna get some points because it's a big rivalry game. So if you win that game, Florida State, like all the rivalry games it was like the game, nigga. You had points, you and it set it up perfectly. We just only had 2 teams that they was picking at the top, and now you can have them play in a playoff, and the shit you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We'll work out. But I gotta ask you this. I know we only got about 7 minutes left. So I saw this online before we got on Boogie, and I was like, this is the perfect nigga to ask. And the people out there, if you had, and there's a bunch of ways we can take this. Iron Man versus Batman. Who gets the dub?
Okay. And here's the thing. The thing that people always forget about Batman, and mind you, like I was always partial to Marvel. The thing about Batman is that motherfucker got contingency plans on top of contingency plans.
Prep time.
And that is kind of a hard thing to beat. He has plans to beat every member on his team. If he shakes your hand, he has a plan of how to beat you.
Yes.
So for me to sit here and be like, I think that Iron Man's going to wash him because he has this, that, and that. No, bro, that motherfucker gonna have an EMP little nigga. He gonna be like this. Hey, how's it going, Tony? He's gonna beat him as Bruce, but he says he's the world's greatest. He knows that Tony Stark's fucking Iron Man.
Iron Man.
What he's gonna do? He's gonna plant a little fucking EMP little tracking device on him.
Nanotechnology disruptor.
When he suits up, bam, disrupted. You're dead, bitch. We're not dead. You're disabled.
See, I want people to realize, and we agree. So I'm just gonna go on this soliloquy, and then we can wrap it up. Batman is the most TTG nigga ever in the ever of all evers of all time.
Yes, dog.
Like if Train to Go had a picture by it, it would be Bruce Wayne / Batman. Like Tony Stark calls other aliens to help him fight aliens. Bruce already be jumping the shit off, and then when the other niggas in the Justice League be like, "Yo, Bruce, what are you doing? Fighting aliens, nigga. Get on your motherfucking job."
Aliens like fear that nigga because
bro, I like people have literally said Iron Man because Iron Man has an iron. Nigga, I don't give a. Bruce is a part of Ra's al Ghul's. Was it League of Shadow? Nigga, what? My nigga Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, will devise some sort of device that will disrupt nanotechnology. Get that nigga Tony down on the ground and beat that nigga ass in the darkness he adopted while Bane says, "Get that nigga, cuz. Initiate that nigga." Hey, Bruce Wayne is the trillest nigga ever. To say that Tony Stark could beat him in a fight is really disrespectful, honestly. Like I've seen the arguments. People say like, "Oh, Bruce can't fly. Bruce don't need that shit. He got prep time, nigga. PT, nigga. What the fuck? That's all I need. I know what you're going to do."
Bruce is going to find a way to ground him. Like Bruce gonna be like this. "Oh yeah, nigga, I got your boot, nigga. Now what you gonna do? Flying circles, nigga." So like Bruce,
bro.
I'm calling this nigga Bruce. No, Batman, nigga. So Batman.
The reason why you call him Bruce is because Bruce is the nigga with the Ra's al Ghul hands. Yeah. And so like Bruce, like that's the one thing people forget about Batman. Like Batman is the only nigga that like no, you can't fuck with him with the hands. People forget he like 6'3", 200.
Yeah.
Like the nigga 6'3", like 215, 200, 215, and he got the most hands in any universe, my nigga, and he's human. He's human. Like Tony Stark is smart. He got the technology. My nigga goes out and fights niggas in leather and a helmet.
Yep. And here's the thing too about Batman.
Leather and a helmet and be winning.
Batman will make the necessary sacrifice where Superman and Wonder Woman are all like brought down by morality and values and shit. Batman like, nah, man, calculate this shit. Hey,
nigga, hey, you know what? And that's I'm sorry.
He makes the hard decisions, dog. All right, let's just say that
he don't. But he don't even make them like they're hard. He just like
he's very pragmatic about it. He's like,
it's that one, and this gotta happen. And the thing that's trill about him is he'll just do it. He don't wait for permission. Yeah, like niggas be like, you ain't got no superpowers. That nigga, hey man, look. When have you ever caught me without prep time, nigga?
Being is his superpower. It's like, no, what? It's so the world's greatest detective, dog. Like his attention to detail is superb.
But he's the third best ninja. I'm not gonna lie. Ra's al Ghul and Bane got that nigga.
Yeah. You gotta get a nigga to nigga points to the nigga that taught you the shit. And the nigga that temporarily
dusted your ass.
Yeah, temporarily.
We can be honest.
Yeah, temporarily crippled you. You know,
one of the coldest lines ever in any movie ever of all time. When that nigga Bane told that nigga, "You merely adopted the dog, nigga. I was born in it, molded by it." The nigga said, "By the time I saw it, I was a man." And all it was blinding. And reaching out to grab that nigga and say, "Hey, hold up, man. Look, I'm gonna smash your little helmet." Yeah, Iron Man, you getting fucked up unless you call your alien friends. But see, that's the thing about Bruce. Bruce ain't gonna call them niggas. If you ever notice, Batman never calls for help. Them niggas kind of show up. Like, damn, this nigga Bruce. Batman's gonna be in that bitch. Like, Iron Man gonna show up. Tony gonna be like, "I got you." Bruce gonna be like, "Man, you think I'm locked in here with you, my nigga?"
Yeah, but you locked
in here with me and push a fucking button and all that Iron Man shit is gonna fly off his body. He gonna be like, "Throw hands." That's all you can do, and that nigga gonna get stabbed in the chest like Thanos did.
And let's be honest, like, you know, I ain't never seen, you know, Tony Hawk throw hands outside of his costume.
He did with Thanos, and he worked him.
And I've seen Bruce without the help of the suit. I'm gonna be honest. All right, we got to go, but I'll be honest. I got to catch up on my Marvel shit, and Bruce Wayne Batman, he hands teaming them all day, every day. All day. That's a wash.
We agree. For those out there, hey, look. Hopefully you have a happy holidays. Do the right thing, and you know what I'm saying. Love, because love is eternal. I got custody of my girls. Holla at y'all, bitch ass nigga.
Hey. All right, my nigga, I gotta go. Peace.